Hey everyone, it's Isaac here, back with another video, and in today's video I wanted to discuss something that's been on my mind a bit lately in terms of typing, and it's how much practice is too much practice. Because lately I've been experimenting with different amounts of practice each day, just seeing how it affects my typing skills, and I have the results, well, sort of. But anyway, we're gonna get right into it. Now the first I did, this is probably more common with more active people, I did 100 races a day. I did okay in terms of typing. I did not sandbag at all. I tried typing my the fastest possible. Cannot talk today. As fast as possible, and ended up getting pretty tired at the end. But then again, I don't typically do a ton of racing a day, so 100 races a day for me was a bit of an adjustment. It was actually more like 110 to 120 a day, just because I had extra time. Then I actually went a day without typing because I was busy, so that wasn't exactly the greatest part of the study. And then I did 50 races a day and found my typing speed to be a little higher, but it took a little longer for me to improve over that period of time. And then I did like 30 races a day, which is not sufficient for someone who wants to. I mean, it's fine if you want to practice, but if you're formerly typing at a certain speed, like I was averaging high 120s, and then not typing for a day, and then typing 50 races a day for like a few days, and then coincidentally enough, actually missing a few more days of typing, like actually a few days in a row of no typing. And then I did 30 races a day, maybe 40 one day, but I still ended up, my words per minute actually went way down. It felt awkward to type. So basically, in short, oh no, I still have one more. Then I did what I typically would do, around 60 to 70 races a day. And of course, that is where I felt most comfortable. That is the reason why I chose to do about that much, because it's more than 50 races a day, but it's also not going to be enough to the point where my hands get tired and I'm not performing at my best. So anyway, now we're going to talk a bit more about the results, because if I didn't, that would be a very short video. But, and we can go to daily here. Oh, that's my monthly activity. This is kind of the area where I did 30 races a day, so I did all right. No, this is, and then you can see I dropped here, kind of back here I dropped. Actually, I don't know what went on there, but there were days I was pretty consistent. But this was back when I did around 50 races a day. I was much more consistent, and then now I started doing 70 races a day again, and I'm starting to get used to typing again. But yeah, so now I'm going to talk about basically how many races you should do a day based on maybe how new you are to typing. So if you're brand new to typing, I'd recommend doing 30 races a day and trying to work your way up. I recommend never trying to cut the amount of races you do in half or multiply it by 2, because it's going to be very hard for your hands to get used to that, and you're going to see some performance issues. However, if you go to monthly stats, and this is what I did, is I slowly tried improving but both, of course, words per minute accuracy and the amount of races I did a day. For whatever reason, my last 2 months are tied. This one used to be higher, but stats are weird and chopped one day of racing in half. And the first half of the racing I did today wasn't as fast, so that brought my monthly average down. But as we can see here, I actually jumped drastically over the course of a few months. I didn't race in between these months. Then you can see I improved slowly. Um, this month I can explain. That month was a month I was racing on a tablet because I was on vacation. And typically I don't race when I'm on vacation, but I was sick and I didn't feel like doing anything else, and I did not bring my laptop. I don't actually think I own my laptop yet. I used there was like a home computer at my house. It was very slow, but that's what I used to race on. And then you see I jumped up to 70, worked my way up into 80s, 90s, low 100s. This is actually back when I started uploading. Yep, back in August, September, maybe earlier. And then I started getting up to the high 120s, and I hope in a few months I can eventually start averaging 130s in a month, to where my monthly average is 130. Typically, my monthly average is a little bit higher than what I feel like I'm constantly typing. My accuracy is starting to get a little better. It used to be around 90%. Now it's 92 to 93, so I'm getting there. But overall, if you're going to be a beginner, I recommend 30 races a day. Maybe try to work it up to 50. But if you're going to do more than 75 to 80 a day, I would expect to at first see some performance issues. I know people that can do over 100 races a day with no issue, but if you're going to start, like I said, 100 races a day might be a bit more than you can process. Now, if you've been typing for a while, I do recommend increasing it to 50 races a day, of course, if you have the time. Or, like, for me, my instance was I had the time, but one of my old internet companies had pretty bad data limits, and NitroType, although it doesn't take up a lot of data, at least back then, that was when I used to, like, track data usage. Now that it's way more animated, it probably will take up more data, and I would not recommend doing a ton of racing on internet if there's, like, and this won't matter if you have if you have a very large data cap, I wouldn't even worry about it. But if you live in the middle of nowhere like I do, and most internet providers have a data cap of some sort, I do recommend trying to limit to 50 races a day, unless, of course, you're noticing that it's not using much data. Maybe share what you found in terms of data usage on NitroType in the comments. I've always been fascinated by that. But anyway, like I said, 50, maybe 60 races a day would probably be good. And once you get more experience, 75 to 100 probably be good. The more experienced you get, obviously, the more leeway you have and how many races you can do a day because you're more experienced and you can kind of find what fits you. Of course, everyone is unique. But that's it for today's video. Thank you all for watching, and I stay healthy, stay safe, and I will see you all